Ooh. That's funny, I just ended up having a 10-minute conversation with the guy that was loading up my kayak because he noticed my camera. He wants to actually get the DJI action. We're talking about drone stuff. But I get more comments from people on this camera here, the Insta360 X5, more than anything else. Like everybody wants a 360, and they see this every time. They ask all kinds of questions about it. It is a fun little camera that I still don't know how to use. Vlog number 20. So this is what 20 days of vlogging looks like. Me, a kayak, very little sleep, and a camera that sees everything. I thought by now I'd be some perfectly lit creator doing cinematic masterpieces. Spoiler alert, I'm not. So yeah, we're 20 days in now. I'll sit back here and, well, we're 20 vlogs in. I've had a couple of skip days, such as yesterday. It's tough. Weekends with work and doing long hours, not always easy to get in vlogging. So I told myself yesterday, like, yeah, you know what? I need a break. So yeah, 20 days in, and I'm kind of reflecting on where this all started, and I look at, what did I think this challenge was going to be when I started this, and what it actually turned out to be. You know, I thought it'd be much better at editing by now. I'm not. And part of that, honestly, has to do with the fact that, man, these are some really nice boats over this marina. Part of that really has to do with the fact that because I'm pumping these out and I'm doing these quick edits and I'm trying to get these out as quickly as possible, I haven't had as much time to sit down and learn DaVinci Resolve as much as I would like. Now, what I have gotten good at is doing little quick edits and throwing on color grades and stuff like that, throwing on LUTs and just doing basic adjustments. So I have gotten really, really quick at that. And it's actually quite easy for me to just do, if it's a single camera vlog, to just kind of cut the footage, cut out the dead spaces, if I really want to, cut out the ums, but I'm trying not to do that anymore. I'm trying to just let it flow a little bit more naturally so I can start, you know, getting used to the fact that I just speak a certain way with the so's and ums and the buts. But I'm trying to get away from that on at least editing those out. But I haven't gotten to spend as much time with Resolve as I would like to. That's okay. Once this 30-day challenge is over, I'm going to actually do a bit more of that. Number two, honestly, I thought that I would run out of things to say. But not really. I seem to come up with new things all the time. I do sometimes look at, you know, things I've put together on what I'm going to talk about that day or the next day, and I go, yeah, I'm not really feeling that today, so I might move some days around. Or I've changed a few subjects here and there. I've got a couple of vlogs here coming up that I want to do where I'm going to be doing some vlogging in public. And that was actually originally going to be yesterday, which was a Saturday. And I was going to go downtown Annapolis on a Saturday and vlog. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to get out of my comfort zone and I'm going to do this. I'm going to vlog in public, and it's going to be uncomfortable and I'm going to force myself to do it. But why don't I do that on a Monday instead of a Saturday? Maybe it's a little less busy. I don't need to throw myself in that badly and torture myself. So, you know, I move a couple of days around here and there. I've got one where I want to talk about, you know, the fact that I've got, this one's coming up soon too. I've got a really horrible addiction with gear, and it's a problem, but it's not going to stop. But that one's going to take me a little bit longer to film because I have so much gear to actually show. You know, a third thing I thought is, you know, I thought I'd love doing this daily vlog and getting out here and doing this every day and looking forward to it. And the fact is, you know, some days I don't. Some days I don't want to do it. Some days I do it because I have to do it. I do it. I don't have to do it. I'm doing it because, you know, I want to do this challenge, and I'm challenging myself to do this. So I kind of have to force myself. And some days the energy isn't quite there. That does happen. funny, as I say that, I'm passing by a bunch of people and I froze up and I stopped vlogging. I don't know, there's something feels a little bit weirder about being out on a boat with this camera here, where I actually might look like a crazy person talking to themselves. Maybe I'll get over that one. At least if you're out downtown vlogging, people can see you have a camera and you're talking to a camera. They might not notice the 360 camera, they might just think I'm some crazy dude talking to themselves. I am kind of a crazy dude talking to himself, but I'm also talking to you guys. So yeah, I thought, I'd be in some kind of magical flow state by doing these daily vlogs. Some days it's a lot of fun. Some days I'm really excited to do it. Some days I'm like, man, I really don't feel like doing it, but I'm just going to get it done. And then I have days like yesterday where it's like, yeah, look, it's just not happening today, because then I feel like I'm half-assing something. And, my head was just not in it. And, that's going to be the case for anything, especially creative work. Like, you're just not going to be in the right headspace to do that. And you've got to learn when to give yourself a break and take it easy, especially on my busiest days of the week with work. Can't do that all the time. So yeah, thinking I was going to be this confident creator in this crazy flow state. Turns out that sleep, mental bandwidth, and general sanity is just not part of this challenge. So, deal with it. The reality is I'm learning more about showing up when I'm tired than I realized I would, because sometimes you do have to kind of push through. Sometimes you do have to look at this and go, look, this is a challenge for a reason. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be something hard to do. You're getting out of your normal. And I'm glad I'm doing it. That doesn't mean that I don't have my days where I say, like, it's just not happening today. But yeah, some of these days where I'm throwing together a vlog and getting out here and doing it, my head is in just different places. And that's okay. That's life, some days I want to do something cinematic and break out multiple cameras. Some days I just want to record the damn thing and go to bed. Some days I need to just take a break and drink my coffee and watch some other YouTube stuff. Not even creator stuff. That's all right. The reality of this is, the gear helps, but showing up helps more. People that sit there and say, oh, gear doesn't matter, gear doesn't matter. Yeah, it kind of matters. You can't do these cinematic masterpieces with, a 20-year-old cell phone camera. But that being said, don't wait around until you've got all the gear that you need. I'm one to talk. I'll go into that one a little bit more at some point. But don't wait around until you're ready and you've got this or you need this to do, because you're going to suck in the beginning no matter what. So just get out there and just start recording. Use your cell phone camera. Cell phone cameras today are pretty damn amazing. And they're filming movies with iPhones. So there's nothing that says that you can't get out there and just start vlogging to your cell phone camera and learning how to do some basic edits and post that stuff up and just get used to talking to the camera. So, yeah, gear matters, but not as much as you think it does, especially in the beginning. So just get out there and start doing it. If I think about what are the things that have helped me the most in this, is I think having to lower the bar a bit. I tried a couple of times early on in this vlogging challenge to do, a little much with the multiple cameras and the motorcycle and trying to act out little scenes. And, it was a neat experience and I'm looking forward to doing it. But I wasn't really quite ready on the editing side of things to really tackle something like that. So it was fun. I'm glad I experimented around with it. And there's going to be so much more with that. But I think when I just kind of lowered the bar and said, hey, why don't we just get used to talking to the camera, trying to stop scripting everything, and just having a general idea about what you want to riff about and what you want to talk about. Maybe you have a line or two that you want to throw in there just because you come up with something nice and quippy and fun. So that's fine. You can have your little line. You can throw that in there and squeeze it in. You can rehearse it several times. But make sure after that you have a general idea of what you want to talk about, have that story in your head, and just start talking. And hopefully you get to a point where you're not saying the ums and the so's and the buts so much anymore. Just get on your camera and start recording and start telling stories and start talking about yourself. Hopefully some people will identify with it, but the main reason here is to just get used to talking on camera. I'm actually looking forward to my challenge here where I'm going to go out and vlog in public. It's not going to be easy. I know that's going to be a very difficult thing for me to do. And I plan on showing you the excerpts of me going, oh God, I don't want to do this right now. There's people around. I'm going to make sure that I show you guys the uncomfortable side of it for me. So hopefully we can show the progression of how easy it is to start vlogging in front of people, because I think at some point you've just kind of got to get used to doing that. Now, sure, maybe you don't want to do content where you're out in front of people and doing that kind of vlog stuff, but I think it's still beneficial to be able to just learn how to talk on camera and be around other people talking to a camera. Because what if you end up collaborating with somebody else, a friend or anything like that, and you know, you're with your friend having to talk to a camera? It's going to feel uncomfortable. So just get used to talking around other people. So yeah, lower the bar a little bit. Make it a little bit easier on yourself. I think really learning how to just riff a little bit, not overly complicate things, have a conversation instead of, you know, this pre-planned out production. I'm going to do one of these vlogs to talk about how I actually prepare these. It doesn't mean that my way is the right way, but I've figured out a few things that work for me. Maybe it'll work for you. And I can show kind of the planning process of how I put these together, how I keep it organized, and how maybe you can utilize the different tools for yourself so you can actually start putting these together, talking on camera. You know, when I looked at the weather, it was supposed to be sunny out this morning, but it is gray as hell. And I keep hearing what sounds like possible thunder off in the distance. Well, cross your fingers. Interesting. I just realized where we are in the water, where I took you guys a number of weeks ago to Black Market Bakers, is actually where I launched this kayak at. It's on the other side of the water from that. So I could actually see if I can get a kayak and go over there sometime on a weekend. I don't know. We're going to find out. So I think one of the other things I learned is that imperfectly done is better than never posted. I will be honest, I did record 1 or 2 vlogs that I did post that were on this channel. And they were labeled vlog number 1, vlog number 2, and that was before I started doing this 30-day vlogging challenge. And I did end up deleting them just because, honestly, it's just weird how they're going to fit into the whole vlogging thing. And here we go. I'm about to go by some people, and this feels awkward. So yeah, I ended up deleting those 2 videos. They weren't very good. It was just me kind of rambling on with no actual coherence to anything. Better to actually post that thing than not post it at all. Let it be imperfect. I've got video that I took when I was out in New York for the B&H conference. Went up for the Build Expo, and I don't know how good it's going to be. I didn't really do any vlogging while I was there, but I could certainly do some voice narration over it. And I don't know how good it's going to be, but you know, hey, I need to post that at some point. I don't have time when I'm doing this 30-day vlogging challenge, so I will go ahead and get that up. Once this is over, that'll be a little mini project I can work with, but I'm going to try not to overthink it too much because I don't think I was in the right mind space to record and do everything that I wanted to do. I do have some pretty cool 360 footage that I did at the Build conference, so you can see what the exhibit floor looked like, as well as I wanted to test out the nighttime footage on the 360, so I went up to Times Square at nighttime, and I gotta tell you, pretty damn amazing. So I'm sold. I'm glad I upgraded from the X2. I had the X2, and the X2 was okay, and it's fine if you're like bright sunshine and stuff like that. It does okay, but I never really loved the footage on there. I didn't really love the user experience on there, so I did not use it as much. So I ended up selling that, upgraded to this one. And the thing is, I know that the DJI one is coming out soon. Here's a good thing about gear. I know the DJI 360 camera is coming out soon. I knew it was coming out most likely in July when I bought this camera last month. I knew I would be outside of the return window, so I would not be able to return the Insta360 and then get the DJI if it's going to be better. But this is the conclusion I came to. Does the Insta360 X5 do what I wanted it to do? And from all the reviews and everything I had seen, it was doing everything I wanted it to do. I do love the DJI architecture and being in their whole ecosystem, but when I decided to buy it, I decided like I was getting it and that's it. It doesn't matter if the DJI one ends up being better. I don't care. This camera does what I wanted it to do, and I'm glad I got it, so I'm gonna stick with it. And I think it's kind of nice to have a piece of gear from a different manufacturer than DJI. Certainly all my like major camera gear is Sony and Tamron and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm glad I got the Insta360. I have not sat down to really learn how to use this camera. I've learned how to do some basic things like being able to export the front-facing video on this. But that is one of the things I really want to dive into, is start working with some of my different camera gear, such as my Pocket 3 and this camera right here. So that's all going to be projects I'm going to be doing once I get out of this 30-day vlogging challenge. And I'm sure I will still do a vlog every now and then, maybe even once a week. Yeah, I'll probably commit to doing about once a week on that, so I can update where I am on some of the process with things. But yeah, where this challenge started off, or what I had in the back of my mind when I started it, completely different than how it ended up, and that's a good thing. That's, again, part of the reason of doing the challenge, is you have no idea what is going to be difficult for you in this process, how quickly you're going to adapt to it. You don't know if you're going to enjoy it. You have no idea. So just start doing it. You could start vlogging about your daily life. You know, I'm vlogging about the fact that I want to become a creator and get into the creative space. I'd love to be the Casey Neistats or the Peter McKinnon. I'm never going to be, and that's okay. But I'd love to be at that kind of level where I'm just, you know, an expert on all this stuff and I'm putting out this really inspiring, awesome visual content. But you got to start somewhere. You hear some of their stories about when they first started off, man, it's kind of hilarious. So, yeah, I'm glad I started this challenge. This is day number 20. Tomorrow is 21. Tomorrow's 21? Tomorrow's 21. I'm going to be downtown tomorrow or Tuesday. One of these days is going to be the vlogging in public. One of these days is going to be talking about my gear addiction. So I got a couple of different things planned up here for the last 10. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Day 20. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 21. I will get it up, and I'll have this one posted up today as well. So see you guys. Peace.